Boa tarde, pessoal. Bom feriado. Bom dia. Boa tarde. Uai. Boa tarde, pessoal. Boa tarde. Feliz dia do trabalhador. Feriado, hein? Tá aí. Hoje, treino. Já tá acontecendo o treino com Carol. Eu não tô participando. Vou participar com o do David Thompson. Como o Tadej Pogacar treina. É o nome do treino do treino como Tadej. Tadej Pogacar, né? Como que o Tadej Pogacar treina. É um treino dele, né? Tá aí. O que é a estrutura do treino? 4 minutinhos de zona 1. Aí fica intercalando aqui, ó. 30 segundos, zona 3, zona 1, zona 3, zona 1, 4 vezes. Depois fica 15 minutos em zona 2. 15 minutos em zona 2. Aí volta para 3 minutos para zona 1. Até então, só aquecimento. E aqui depois fica 3 minutos, ó. 3 minutos em zona 6. 3 minutos, zona 1. 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 3 minutos, zona 6. 3 minutos, zona 1. 3 minutos, zona 6. Fica intercalando entre zona 6 e zona 1. Eu já estou inscrito. Daqui 8 minutos. 8 minutos. Vamos ficar no aquecimento de 7 minutinhos, né? Vamos ficar no aquecimento. Magliaotto. Nossa, eu tô confundindo com o nome. Boa tarde, cara. Beleza? Ó. Everton, boa tarde, Everton. Beleza, mano? Pessoal, bom feriado aí pra vocês, pessoal. Feriado, galera. Sexta-feira e feriado. Ah. O Everton já pedalou 80 km lá fora, pedal real. Parabéns, Everton. Mas feriado, né, cara? Feriado merece. Merece acordar cedo, sair pra pedalar. É de lei, cara, é de lei. E eu tô iniciando meu pedal agora. Eu perdi o pelotão, vamos ver se eu busco ele ali. Corpo frio, cara. Corpo totalmente frio. Será que tá me chamando? Tô achando que tá me chamando. É, tava me chamando, ainda bem que chamou antes de começar. Gente, 1 minutinho para começar o treino. Já vamos ficar lá na sala do evento. Bom, um aquecimento meia boca aqui, mas tá valendo.
All right, mic check, mic check. We have a camera, we have mic. Maybe I can turn it up a little. Check, check. All right. Welcome everybody. It is good to be back. You found me. Hey Miguel, Pedro, Chama. We have a great session on we have a great session coming up today. It's gonna be awesome. Hey Rich. Gregor. Hola primo. ¿Cómo estás? Tamo. Pedro. Boa tarde. Frank. Guten Tag. Nick. What's up, bro? Paul. Team Lou. What's up, man? Julian. Alex. Philip. Miguel. We are all back. All right, make sure we got some, hold on, maybe my volume was low because the mic. Mic levels, perfect. There you go. Hey Tamo. Fabiano. Chama.
Ó, mais um brasileiro aí, ó. Fabiano Sardinha.
All right, let's start to get that power up if you haven't started pedaling yet.
Tem mais algum brasileiro aqui? 14 pessoas. 14.
Oh, we got João. We got a lot of Portuguese speakers today. Oh boy. I'm in for it now. Three, two, and we are off. Welcome everybody. It is Friday, the best day of the entire week. We are here together. Hey Mick, I was not here last week. I had business travel, but you all came back. You found me. Super, super excited to be here. Oh my God, so much. I feel like so much has changed. Philip, hello. So much happens. The bike racing world is crazy. Liège was awesome. Hopefully you guys all got to watch LBL. And then yeah, right now, I was like, oh, we're almost at Giro d'Italia. And then I'm like, wait, we still have Tour Romandy. And Tour Romandy's been awesome. That's kind of, you know, when I pick these sessions, I get inspired, right? And like I saw this headline this week that Tade lost first time in this discipline. And yeah, he didn't win the opening prologue. Yeah, so that, yes, Rich, yes. So Tade didn't win the opening prologue. Then of course, stage two was incredible. Right, Rich? Like people were just attacking Tade. There was Lipovitz was going, and it's the other one for next whatever, the NL post, whatever. They were kept attacking Tade. Tade won from a bunch sprint. So cool. So it's been, you know, it's one of those things like, yeah, I'm so excited for the Giro to start next week, but I'm also very, very excited for the Tour Romandy, which has been out of control right now. So I'm very much enjoying it, loving the coverage. Everyone's trying to attack Tade. So here we are. We have a Tade inspired workout for everybody today. So as always, you know, I always stress a really good warm up. We always have a nice warm up here. Make sure the legs are warm. No, Tamo. No Giro. I think it's obviously the starts can change. It's Jonas, maybe Almeida, Joao, is he racing? Remco is I think supposed to be in there. Again, it's a little, you know, they didn't really post. Almeida, yeah. See, everyone's still. It's still too early to just go through all the rosters. So maybe just Jonas and Evenepoel might be the headlines right now. I haven't looked yet. I'll look, but it's coming up next week. But anyway, so we're doing our nice warm up here. We're gonna get the legs nice and warm. We're gonna deoxygenate a little bit in about 30 seconds. We have a big zone 2 before the effort, so we don't need too much. But again, when you deoxygenate the quads, that's what signals the body, okay, it's time for some serious work. Let's make sure all the fresh oxygenated blood flow is going to the working muscles. So that's kind of the point of these few little pickups here that we're gonna go through. Super easy. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, just get the blood going. And then we have some specificity, right? So we're just getting the heart rate up ever so slightly because we're gonna be doing a long zone 2 block today. So good warm up. Tour Romandy's awesome. The hype is gonna start this week for the Giro. Once we start to see who's in, who's out. Really excited. So I know we always, it's funny here, right? Because we're from all over the world. And things that I have no idea what they are. I can't usually pronounce things. But then it's like in the US, we have our own set of oddities and names and cultural things. But anyway, if you're not familiar, every so often, these Grand Tours start outside the country, right? Outside whatever country they're in. So this year, for the 16th time, the Giro d'Italia first 3 stages will not be in Italy. They're actually in Bulgaria. Now, the point of this, I've heard of Bulgaria, obviously. It is a country. But I had to look this up on a map. I had no idea where Bulgaria was. But I have since found it. I'm trying to learn a little bit. I've watched some videos on, some of the country and what makes it so special, and it's beautiful. But yeah, the first 3 stages of the Giro this year will be in Bulgaria. Some flat, some punchy, no GC shakeups. But yeah, exciting. It starts next Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the stages will be in Bulgaria. Then they get a rest, transfer day, and then the action will pick up in Italy. And yeah, some big stages. Some big stages. You got Passo João in this year's Giro. The Giro, I think, the Tour has the prestige. Everybody wants to win the Tour of France, right? So Tour de France is the prestige, and the Vuelta is probably the most difficult, in terms of the actual Grand Tour. But the Giro is always the most beautiful, so as someone who just gets to watch from afar, it is, the landscapes are beautiful, the names, the towns, it's a really exciting time to follow bike racing. And of course, if Tadej is not in it, that's a huge incentive for other riders to go and try and steal a Grand Tour if Tadej's not there. So it'll be a lot of fun. Some iconic climbs. I'll get to learn about Bulgaria. We have 3 weeks. 3 weeks of talking about Grand Tour. Oh my gosh. So, I love it. So you're gonna have to be well versed on it. Okay, so what do we got going on here today? We have just under a minute, and then we're gonna start our Zone 2 block. So we have a 15-minute session, followed 15-minute Zone 2, followed by 4, I'll say, super threshold, probably low VO2 max efforts here. So this is a condensed version of a very, very pro style way that Tadej or any of the pros really would train. But obviously Mywhoosh is UAE. They had the relationship with the team. So we got a little bit of a Tadej flair here. But Tadej, he'll go out and he is famous. Here we go, 15 minutes. I'm gonna keep talking just to keep time passing. We'll be in Zone 2, 15 minutes. So Tadej has this massive engine, and he does these, he'll tell you if you read the articles or the coverage, the press, Tadej, his favorite days are like doing these 5 to 6 hour Zone 2 rides. Now his Zone 2 is well north of 300 watts. So he goes out and he's doing, 300 plus watts for 4 to 6 hours. And then, as a GC specialist, they're not doing this thing where their efforts, are at the end of or at the beginning of the ride. Tadej is well looked after in the race by his teammates. You'll always see him tucked in until the end. So what he does, he'll go out and he'll do, let's say 4 hours at 315 watts. Just crazy. Like absolutely crazy to fathom that. And then his coach will have him do his efforts at the end of the workout. So that is amazing. Tadej is amazing. Obviously, we're all mortals here. We don't have the time to be doing that on a Friday. We're not, I speak for myself. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a pro cyclist. I mean, this is a job, but, you know, I'm not doing the grand tours. But that being said, one of the biggest things that you need in pro cycling is durability. Yes, you need high VO2 max, you know, the watts per kilo for 20 minutes. Yeah, those are table stakes, but doing that fresh means approximately this. You know, there's a lot of people that can do it fresh. Lots. But, you know, you need to be able to put in big efforts at the end of a ride. And the magic of Tade is, you know, 4 hours in to a 5.5 hour race, he's still able and still has the ability to do like those efforts as if you were fresh, right? And that is the magic. You know, yes, his watts per kilo is high, his VO2 is high. Yes, he's a Grand Tour winner. You know, he's a generational talent. But what's behind that, and the thing is, makes him special beyond belief is, you know, it's one thing to do a 20-minute effort fresh, right? We can all do this. We can all go out. We can all put in, you know, try to go out early and do a 20-minute PR. And then what do? We're like, I just did a 20-minute effort. Now I'm going to go sit in and just ride easy. I'm good. I did my 20-minute effort all out. I got a PR. But now try doing that after 4 hours riding 50K an hour. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference with Tade. And that's what makes him special. And even the pros that he's racing against, not everybody is able to do their best 20-minute effort after, you know, 5 hours of riding and 3,000 meters of climbing. He is a rare individual. So, again, you know, I'm excited. I love the bike racing. I love Tade. He's so incredible to watch. But that's kind of what we're trying to mimic today, is you have to do, you know, assume this 15-minute is 4 hours, you know, and then we're going to do our accelerations. And if you've been watching, I've been recommending this. It has no affiliation with Mywhoosh or anything, but UAE on their YouTube channel at these big races does like a behind the scenes. It's amazing. Watching these professionals go out and do like the course recons of Paris-Roubaix, Flanders, all these great courses. I highly recommend it. Like, it is, they put like a GoPro on their chest or helmet or bike. They probably have a few of them. Seeing how close they ride together, seeing how fast they go, it is awesome. The one thing that I hate though is all the cameras now have incredible image stabilization. So it's like you got to see them go through Arnberg right for the recon, and you could see the bike, you know, going like this, just hitting those cobbles, but it's like the image doesn't do it justice because the stabilization's so good. But one of the things, and we'll use this kind of as inspiration today, they'll go out, the team, and the universal sign for like an acceleration is this. It's like the throttle. So you'll see them, the boys on the team kind of animate that. So yeah, we'll go out 2 hours and we'll first acceleration, do one of those. And then when they really are going for it, through like the Armberg or whatever the section was, up the Koppenberg. Yeah, they'll really throw it on. And that's what we're doing today. So again, pro style, and then we'll do our accelerations towards the end. They're gonna be 3 minutes at 107% of your FTP. It's not so bad, manageable. But again, it's like, we wanna be able to hit those numbers at the end of a long ride, right? So we're doing this, we're in the peloton, you know, we're winding up, and then we gotta do our accelerations at the end. I'm just romanticizing it, you know, giving you some sort of visual feedback and what we're doing. Because yeah, we're gonna work our VO2 system today in these efforts, you know, above threshold. But it's like these short punchy climbs, we really want to hit them at the end of the work, at the end of the ride, when everybody's tired. You know, if people didn't fuel properly and they're starting to bonk out, and we have all these, you know, short VO2 efforts, you know, we got to make sure we are durable. That's the key word, durability, to be able to go out and do that. So that's what we're doing today. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as you can see, time is already flying by. You know, we're nearly 9 minutes into this effort, almost 18 minutes into the workout. I'm making myself tired just because I haven't stopped talking. But hey, it's DT. You get me talking bike racing and training and Tade, Grand Tours. I won't shut up. But we're gonna have some fun. And yeah, so I also want to call out Tamo, talk about Tamo a little bit. I haven't been here, so you know, another big piece, you know, that happened while I was away. Well, I guess last weekend. Two people. This has never been done before, and then 2 people went out and did it. Broke the 2-hour barrier in London at the marathon. Those are pros. The guy that came in second, imagine breaking 2 hours and you don't even win. Crazy. It was his first, he's an incredible, you know, 5K, 10K runner, but he is his first marathon and came in second, breaking 2 hours. But anyway, back to Tamo, because he's here, and I thought this was so insightful and so indicative of what we talk about here on this ride, and like warrior mindset is, you know, Tamo just disclosed earlier he's had a little bit of a groin injury, and you know, I was hoping that Tamo would be like, hey, you know, here's my bib, you can track me, we're gonna go out, we're gonna have a great race. That wasn't the message I got. So Tamo sent me a message that he pulled out, and so much respect, because that's what we do here, right? We're not just gonna show up and get around the course. You know, we're not here just to tick a box. You know, if we show up, if we come here to train, you know, the point is, yeah, we'll have good days and bad days, but to have intentionality when we go to our main events. You know, some of you guys like me, I don't know why, but you show up on these rides, you give 110%, and, you know, I see the efforts, you know? You go out and you do your events, your races, and you get those PRs. But that's what it's about, right? It's about all year long, you put that work in, and the payoff of that are these events, you know? And massive respect to be like, look, I couldn't be 100% at my event, so I'm gonna dial it down. I'm gonna just defer till next year, because next year I can go out and I can give it 110%. And right, and it's like, that's the call. That's the right call. You know, and that's why I'm so proud of Tamo, right? Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen in a year. You get older, you may be more fit, maybe less fit, life might be crazy. You have no idea. But that's the point. If we know we can't be perfect or we can't execute at the level that we want, we have the faith, we have the self-belief that you can go out and your future self will be able to go out and crush that. And as gutted as I was for Tamo, I was like, I'm so proud. You know, it just, the easier decision would have been to run hurt, walk, and tell your friends and family and your Strava followers, hey, I was hurt. Just did it. That's not us. That's not the warrior mindset. You know, the warrior mindset and what I teach, yes, we teach cycling. We get better at the watts, so what? But the self-confidence, the belief, like, that's it. And I'm super proud of you, Tamo, for pulling it. And next year we attack it. What you learned, another year of training, go out and you get it. And like, I'm so excited for Tamo at the London Marathon 2027. We're all gonna follow. And Tamo, you go out there and you train hard, get that PR, and it's all gonna be worth it. So that's amazing. It is amazing. And if you're new here with me, you know, the way I roll, I like to pick the sports science. I tell you about the sports science, but then we get, you know, becomes emotional. It becomes this internal battle of you want to quit and you want it to be easy, but that's not how you get results. So when you come to my sessions and when the work gets going, you know, it's a lot about self-belief, you know, and that's it. That's all I can teach, you know, like that's what I want to gift everybody that comes to my sessions. I don't care if your watts go up or if the watts go down. It happens to all of us. We'll have good periods, we'll have bad periods. But that warrior mindset is everything, you know? All right, here we go, rest. We got 3 minutes of rest. See, that 15-minute zone 2 just flew. We're 25 minutes into this thing. It's awesome. But remember that when we do our efforts now, it is all about when it gets hard, when the easier thing is to just stop or quit or give up. Like, that's not acceptable. Not here, not anywhere. And so when we do these efforts, keep that in your mind. You've come here, you've given an hour of your time to be with me, and we are gonna make you warriors. Like, that's all I want, you know? There's a million coaches, there's a million programs, there's a million ways to get better, but not everyone. A lot of these coaching services and platforms, right? Like, they give you a workout. Yeah, you can follow it. You might see good results. Cool. But it's like, they don't care. You know, like, they take your money, they don't care. You know? But it's like, that's why I love doing this. Just make sure you guys are getting the best out of your hours and your time with DT here on Mywhoosh. I love it. All right. So again, we have 3 minutes. Don't look at it as 3x4. Don't look at, however you have to break this up. We're just gonna get in. We're gonna settle. When the legs start to burn and the system starts to, you know, go a little crazy, Yeah, recognize it. Yeah, it hurts. Okay, move on. It's supposed to hurt. If it didn't hurt, your FTP is wrong. You know? So we have 1 minute. Dial in your focus. Dial in that mindset. We're not going to quit. We can fail. Failure is okay. I talk about this too. If you fail, that means you tried. It means you went out and you took a big risk and you tried something and you got close, but it didn't work. It's okay. That's okay. But when you tell yourself you just want to stop because it hurts, that's not cool. That's not good. Whew. Here we go. I'm so excited. We're going to give it one of these, boys. Give it some gas. Also, if there's any girls on here, boys and girls. Sorry, usually it's just the male audience that puts up with my nonsense. Alex, what's up, man? Alex Coe, you are the man. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. Full throttle. That's right, Miguel. 5 seconds. Here we go. Get up to speed and hold it. You know, you when it starts to burn, you just, yep, it burns. It'll pass. We want to be right around 85 RPMs. This is the work. You know, Tade got done with his 4-hour ride, and now he's got to do his accelerations. Well done, boys. Looking good. We have a nice 1-to-1 work to rest ratio. So 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. Mick, what's up, buddy? Hopefully you get to see some of the Giro d'Italia in person. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, buddy. Push. Breathing starts to get harder. Heart rate goes up. Halfway done. Shake hands with it. Yep, the pain is here. So what? No big deal. You can suffer. You can do hard things. Okay. That's okay, Mick. Push. You can do anything for a minute. I know it burns, but we're there. Come on. There's the finish line, boys. There it is. 30 to go. Push. Come on. All the way through. Well done. Let's rest. Relax. Mick, what is your town or city? I'll look it up. I also don't know where Bulgaria is. And, okay, I'll look that up. Probably can't pronounce it. I can try. Prisión. I don't know. No idea. I'll look it up. I don't know where Bulgaria is, but I looked it up. I don't know much about Italian geography, although I know where the Dolomites are. I'll look that up. So not a huge recovery here, but just got to dial it in. If you want to finish these efforts, you will. If you want to get beat up and quit, you will. But I think we're all warriors here. We're going to keep it going. Make sure you drink, towel off. Some good self-talk. Let yourself know you did this. Middle East Coast, okay. Yeah, so you're like on the opposite coast of Rome, I guess. So Rome's on the West Coast, you're on the East Coast. It's about what I could guess. See, I know a little. All right, 1 minute, same exact thing. Obviously, with each one, the fatigue will build, but you know you can do it. 1 minute. Again, this is difficult, but it's not crazy. It's not over the top. You know, these are really good accelerations to do at the end of a long endurance ride. So I would keep this in mind too, right? So if you're gonna go outside, you're gonna ride for a couple hours. Let's say you have a 3-hour ride, endurance ride with the mates, group ride. You know, you can go, you know, do 2.5 hours, and then at the end, throw some of these. You have a power meter maybe, or your heart rate, whatever you got. You know, throw some of these 3-minute accelerations on. You'll see big improvements. You'll start feeling better at the end of these long rides. I promise. This is great. This is a really good blueprint. All right, here we go. 3, 2, let's go. Autopilot, cruise control, 85 RPMs, and suffer till we're done. That's it. Really nice, team. Real smooth. Don't need to, you know, just keep the watts smooth. Pedal, and all good. Breathe, big breaths. Cadence, 85. 90 if you need, but no more. If you're strong, you could do 80. 1 minute done. That's it, team. Looking good. Just hold it. Make friends with the pain. Halfway there. There we go. 1 minute. Hold it. You can do anything for a minute. All right, 30. There we go. Nice job.
Esse eu fiz em baixa
And I'll tell
cadência.
you
Em 80,
another
né?
piece, real story.
Em média cadência.
So, I have small kids, and I talked to another parent, and he doesn't know anything about this world, you know. And, you know, I stand out when you're talking to other parents, right? Because we're fit. You know, we do fitness, you could see, you know, little skinny guys ride the bikes. Anyway, you stand out. So the guy asked me, hey, what do you do like for workouts? I tell him, you know, I don't get into the nitty gritty, right? Yeah, I'm a cyclist. Love riding the bike. It's great exercise. You know, low impact. You know, just the standard stuff. And he gets talking. He's like, yeah, I'm doing a half marathon soon. I was like, oh, how's your training? You know, he didn't have real structure. And I've also, in a very prior life, have a lot of run experience and triathlon experience. So I wrote him a little program. You know, he's cramming. It's not great, but not ideal. But he had a few weeks. He could do one more block. I wrote him a little program, yeah, little guidelines, you know, with some pacing and just to get his training up. And he's like, oh, the training's great. And he's like, it works with my schedule. He's like, you know, my wife didn't want this to like take over my life. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, if you don't do these things, right? Like, if we don't train, if we don't have goals and we're not pushing ourselves, like, you know, we want to be there for our families and our kids and all these, keep doing events. I'm like, if you don't do this stuff, like, there is no life. These are the things that allow you to go out and have, you know, experiences with your kids and your spouse or friends and all those things. Is like, we got to keep ourselves working, you know. Don't let people tell you that this is selfish. I mean, it is kind of selfish because it's a lot of time. But at the same time, it's like, no, like, I want to be around a long time. I want to ride. I want to race. I want to be with my kids. I want to do all these things. We have to be in great shape. So, yeah, another mental trick here. 3 minutes, suffer. Think about that. It's a good one to suffer on. Again, last hard one, then the next one will be the last. So, just got to really dial it in here for 3 minutes. Yeah, Rich, now we're cooking. First one was easy. Second one's getting tough. You know, when you have these two in the middle, there's no reward, right? The first one, you're fresh. Feel great. Second and third, you're like, ooh, this actually hurts a little bit. And the fourth one, you're like, yeah, I just got to suffer a few more minutes and I'm done. That's great motivation. But this one, you got to focus. 2 and 3 are the hard ones. 1 and 4, first one, last one. Easy.
Uau! Obrigado por se inscrever aqui no meu canal do YouTube. Manu e Dani, seja bem-vindo. Seja bem-vindo ao canal. Fique à vontade para conversar comigo aí no chat.
There we go.
Valeu pela inscrição.
Settle in for this second minute. Looking good. Julian, hola, primo. Señor Guzmán. Vamos. Vamos, vamos. Halfway, boys. Let's keep it going. Keep pushing. Chama. Chama, chama. Ale, ale. Here we go, Miguel. Ask Miguel, you know, end of SRC, you need to be able to do the efforts. That's what we're doing. Sub 1 minute. Suffer. Almost over. Keep pushing. Two by 20. 2 by 20 seconds. That's it. Break it up smaller. Come on, Mick. Great job. Philip close. Pedro. Fabiano. Amazing.
Jesus.
There we go.
Jesus.
Push, push, push. Through the line. Well done. One more. Recover. We got one more. Yeah. It's great. Whew. I did a big block. Nick was there with VO2 work this month. You know, it's a hard transition, you know, to go from winter into spring and warmer temps. You know, you tend to overheat. You're not acclimated. So, you know, sometimes the long threshold work, like in the spring, is challenging. Your body holds water weight different, temperatures, all that stuff. And also, you know, you've been on the trainer all winter, you know, possibly a little burnout. You want to go outside. But the VO2 work, you know, it's not short efforts. You know, it's not your 1 minute or 30 seconds, but it's long enough to cause that burn. You know, and really, you know, you do these early in the outdoor season, right? So a lot of VO2 work in April and maybe even into May. What you do is you raise that 5 minute power up. You know, your FTP, imagine your FTP stays the same, but that 5 minute power goes up. And now, once you start doing your long outdoor rides and, you know, getting in those bigger, you do endurance events and big rides, then your FTP starts to, it has a place to go up. You know, if you're 5 minute and you're 20 minute too close, you know, you can't raise your 20 minute until that 5 minute ceiling is lifted. So, you know, it's all very strategic right now to do a lot of this VO2 work. And then once you start doing these, enjoying the sunshine outside, you know, doing 2, 3, 4, 5 hour rides, you know, you're going to see big improvements. I promise. All right, we got 20 seconds. Let's finish this one off strong. However you want. If you want to do 3 by 1 minutes, I like to do first minute, I settle in, second minute hold, and then third minute I'm like 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. It's kind of how I break it up mentally. All right, here we go, boys. Last one that we can recover and get ready for the weekend. Here we go. Nice, Mick. 230's big. We're settling in right now. First minute, settle in. Second minute, hold. There we go. After this, we're done. It's too late to quit. If you're gonna quit or fail, you would have done it already. And beautiful course, by the way. These Switzerland courses are great. All right, we're settled in. Heart rate's high. Let's hold it. There we go. Settle. Hold. Hold it. Remember, last minute, 20-20-20. That's how we think about it. Shorten it up. All right, first 20, we're excited. Only a minute left. Second 20, hold it, suffer, embrace the pain. I know it burns. "20 seconds, end. You can see the finish. Don't give up. Push."
Uau! Espetacular.
And we're done. That's it, boys. Amazing. So, I want to just go over what we learned today. 3 things. 1, warrior mindset. When you show up, you show up. Right? Yeah, Mick? We owe it to ourselves to honor ourselves, to give it our best. So like Tamo, if you can't give it your all, you wait until you can. Chama. Step 2. I know this feels selfish and it takes a lot of time and it's not wrong, but being healthy and being fit is more important than money. This is so important because the more you train, the healthier you become, the more you could show up and the longer you can show up for your friends, your family, and for yourself. That's number 2. Number 3, start doing it at the end of your long rides. If you have a power meter or a heart rate monitor, you'll be able to see it. When you're outdoors, a lot of times the team will be like, 3 hours. And then by the end, they're dragging. It's like, no, let's do 2.5, and then we'll do some accelerations. Add some of these little work blocks at the end of your endurance rides. And, I promise. Tamo, I'm sorry. It's probably because I was talking about how great you are today and how much I respect you. So they cut you off. But that's what I hope you take away. Here's my, as always, the dab of respect at the end of a hard session. As usual, we have 2 minutes left. If you are new to me, thank you. I hope you come here and you leave inspired. You're a little tired, but you come here and you get motivated to go out into the world and be a bit more positive and bring that energy. If you're new to the live coaching sessions, welcome. We have a bunch of live coaches throughout the week, and they're all super dedicated to you and delivering you world-class sessions. Yeah, Philip, amazing. Rich, awesome. Tamo, hopefully this gets sorted. And yeah, just thank you so much. And I was out last week, but I appreciate y'all finding me again. You didn't forget me. I didn't forget you. It's one of those things like, I get so upset when I can't be here. Okay, you know, normally I'm here, but life happens. But I'm super excited to be here. So let me just call out everybody one more time. Alex didn't really ride, but he's a dear friend. Fabiano, Frank, Tamo, Paul, Philip, Rich, Nick, Mick, Miguel, Pedro, Julian. Amazing. You're all great. Just warriors, you know? Doesn't matter what your watts per kilo are. Just matters how hard you go. How relative to yourself, how much you push yourself. That's all that matters. You know, some people go faster than others. Who cares? It's all for fun and life. I will be back here next week. Do not come to this session next week if you don't want Giro spoilers. I am going to watch stage 1 all morning, and I'm going to talk about it. You can believe that. So you better, if you plan on watching the Giro on Friday, the opening stage, you better watch it before this session, because I will spoil it. I promise you that. I'll be so excited. Yeah, guys, thank you. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great weekend. See ya.
See you next time. Gente, puxadinho o treino, puxadinho. Começa com quem não quer nada, né? 15 minutos em zona 2, mas depois, cara, 3 minutos. 3 minutos em zona 6. Vamos ver aqui os intervalos. Aí, ó, começa com quem não quer nada. 15 minutos em zona 2, aí, ó. 15 minutos, frequência cardíaca. Deixa eu tirar a câmera. 15 minutos em zona 2, 133. Aí o primeiro minuto de zona 6, né? Primeiro minuto não, primeiro intervalo de zona 6, ó, foi 3 minutos, a média 149 BPM. E aí eu fiz num RPM alto, ó, 102 a média, 102, mas foi por aí. 102. Aí o segundo eu fiz em RPM baixo. Baixo não, em médio RPM, em 80 lá, ó. Então, de 149 já baixou para 145. Eu fiz o mesmo watts por 3 minutos. Então, o esforço, meu coração trabalhou menos, ó. Aí o terceiro intervalo eu fiz em RPM alta também. Deu 96 de RPM. Já foi 152. Cara, e RPM, 79 de RPM, que foi o último intervalo, ó, 146. Então eu fiz bem menos esforço. Eu fiz bem menos esforço em cadência média. Foi 2 vezes, ó, fiz o teste 2 vezes, ó, 2 vezes de cadência média. Então é uma cadência boa de subir, e o coração esforça menos, ou seja, ele sobe mais, né? Sobe mais distância numa subida sem pregar. Quando eu pregar, não aguentar, o caminho que eu percorri foi mais longo na frequência média. Porque na frequência alta de RPM, né? Numa média alta, pode ser que eu pregue mais rápido. Tem que analisar direitinho aí. Mas deu uma média cadência, ficou agradável o resultado, hein? Tá aí. Vamos finalizar. Já foi feito o upload, pode descartar. Gente, hoje eu fiz um vídeo, coloquei no canal. Troca da minha corrente, cara. Eu não acreditei que rodei 15.000 km com a minha corrente. Hoje foi o primeiro pedal com a corrente nova. Eu troquei a corrente na parte da manhã. E agora, 3 horas da tarde, eu fiz esse treino. Ah, espetacular, né? Espetacular. Ok. Vamos pedalar. Vou pedalar pouquinho agora, pedalar uns 10 minutinhos. 50 watts grátis com a nova corrente. 50 watts grátis? 50? Do que você tá falando, ô Luiz? Boa tarde, Luiz. Beleza, cara? Ah, eu não senti que eu ganhei watts com a corrente nova, não. Eu não senti que eu ganhei nada, não. E hoje, cara, eu não fiz o treino do Carol, não fiz, tava ocupado. E aí, no lugar do Carol, eu fiquei fazendo fortalecimento, agachamento, exercício de fortalecimento. Cara, esse treino que eu fiz com o David Thompson, isso daqui, ó, me pregou, me pregou. Subidas curtas, treino como Tadej Pogacar. E mandou a piada, cara, entendi. Mas hoje, Luiz, hoje eu troquei minha corrente da minha bike, troquei, fiz até um vídeo, coloquei o vídeo aí no canal. 15 mil km, mas foi a bicicleta só no rolo, então ela só pedala no rolo. Mas eu rodei 15 mil km, cara. E... tá valendo, cara, tá valendo. 11 km, eu vou fazer esse pedalzinho aqui. Esse pedalzinho. Amanhã é pedal do canal. Amanhã é pedal do canal. Então amanhã é uma rota de Ironman, 90 km. Ô Luiz, eu vi no seu Strava, cara. Eu vi no seu Strava que você pedalou. Dei até um kudos, né? Um like lá, eu vi. E... maravilha, cara, maravilha. Eu tenho que pedalar lá fora, Luiz. Você acredita que esse ano... eu acredito que esse ano eu não pedalei. Não pedalei nada lá fora, só no rolo. Dá pra acreditar, cara? E a minha bicicleta é boa, cara. A minha bicicleta é de mountain bike. Uma bicicleta boa, então eu tenho que pedalar lá fora. Eu só tô no rolo. Ô Luiz, ontem você falou que você ia adquirir um ar-condicionado? A minha sala aqui agora tá 24 graus Celsius. 2 ventiladores. Fez aquisição? Mas aí você tava treinando. Você tava treinando aquelas roupas de deixar assar em alta temperatura. Me vem agora com ar-condicionado? Ué. Uma vez por mês? Ah, uma vez por semana. Uma vez por semana. Entendi. Eu também tenho que ter essa prática, Luiz. Uma vez na semana eu tenho que pedalar lá fora. Eu quero colocar essa prática. Mano, tá muito na pancave, né? Sair um pouco da caverna. Tem que sair um pouco da caverna. Ah, olha só, Luiz. Maravilha. Maravilha. Espetacular. Cara, na minha faculdade tinha ar-condicionado em cada sala. Cara, os homens queriam que a sala ficava 16 graus. 16, ou seja, a menor temperatura do ar-condicionado. Mas as mulheres reclamavam, porque era muito frio. Era muito frio. Aí eu acho que ficava na casa dos 20, 21, não sei. Mas eu aqui em casa eu não tenho ar-condicionado. Eu não tenho. Por que que eu não tenho? Por quê? A minha casa é muito fresca, cara. Muito, muito fresca. O chão, o piso é daquela pedra ardósia. Cara, a casa é um gelo. A casa é gelada. Mas é espetacular. Espetacular. Eu que tô pedalando, mano, fica muito agradável. Entendi. A gente, né, tem que fazer dos limões uma limonada. Mas aí o seu ar-condicionado não é aqueles que fica preso na parede, não. Ele é móvel. Como que ele chama? Aquele ex-professor do Mywhoosh? É um rapazinho lá do... Que país que é o país dele? Eu esqueci o nome dele. Ele não tem ar-condicionado, não. Ele tem de esquentar um aquecedor. Ele tem um aquecedor, cara. País de Gales. Lá do País de Gales, eu esqueci o nome dele. Ed Laverec. Eu acho que é o Ed Laverec. Ele tem aquecedor. Gente, é o contrário. E ele é novinho, levinho e forte, né, cara? E forte. Estranho, cara. Estranho por que ele não tá na Sunday Race Club? Por que ele não faz parte da Sunday Race Club? Eu não entendo. Forte. Deve que tem o rolo. Deve que tem o rolo homologado para pedalar. Poderia estar ganhando um trocado. Porque ele é forte. Pegaria posições boas. Será que eu pego esse robô aí? Eu não entrei em robô não, mas... Robô de 3 watts quilo? Francisco, boa tarde, Francisco. Como foi o treino? Francisco, foi bom, foi bom. Poderia ter sido melhor. Por quê? No finalzinho eu fiquei pregado. Eu fiz um treino de fortalecimento antes de iniciar o treino com a bike. Me pregou, né? Por que eu fiz o treino de fortalecimento? Porque eu não treinei o do Carol. Não treinei o do Carol, treinei só o do David Thompson. Então, para compensar a falta do treino do Carol, eu fiquei fazendo um treino de fortalecimento. Mano, aí complica, né? Mas tá valendo, cara, tá valendo. Foi concluído com sucesso. Bom feriado aí pra você, Francisco. Bom feriado. O Luiz estava aí na live, cara. Eu não falei bom feriado pra ele. Acredito que lá também deve ser, né? Feriado. Uau. Gente, final de semana tá aí, cara. Chegou sexta-feira com feriado aqui no Brasil, na sexta. Magnífico, cara. Fechando a semana com chave de ouro. Coloquei um vídeo novo no canal. Fiz a troca hoje na parte da manhã, cara. Hoje na parte da manhã fiz a troca da minha corrente. Aproveitei, gravei, né? Gravei, mostrei aí pro pessoal. Tá aí gravado no vídeo. E espetacular, cara. Espetacular. Ficou aqui, ó. Primeiros KM rodando com a corrente nova. Mano, as trocas de marcha já tava boa. Agora com a corrente nova, mano. Espetacular. Magnífico. Treino de zona 5, daqui a pouco. Então, o que eu fiz foi zona 6, Francisco. O que eu fiz foi zona 6. 3 minutos em zona 6. Descansa 3 minutos. E ataca novamente. Faz isso 4 vezes. E o nome do treino é como o Tadej Pogacar treina. O treino do David Thompson. Aí o título do treino é como o Tadej Pogacar. Treino do Tadej Pogacar. E agora eu tenho que comprar nova corrente, cara. Tem que comprar nova corrente, porque agora eu não tenho mais nenhum estoque de corrente guardada. Porque quando eu compro corrente, eu compro 2 de uma vez. Eu compro 2 para uma ficar guardada, para ficar de reserva, né? Estocado aqui. E agora eu não tenho nenhuma corrente guardada. Eu tenho que comprar nova safra de corrente. Mano, e eu já deixei os links aí. Pra mim, cara, tá funcionando perfeito. Corrente chega com nível de desgaste 0. E espetacular, cara. Que eu já comprei corrente. Quando você coloca o aparelhinho ali de medir o desgaste, já tá na hora de trocar. Olha só pra você ver. Eu já comprei corrente precisando trocar. Na hora que você vai trocar a corrente, ela já vem com desgaste de trocar. Essa que eu comprei, não, já veio com desgaste 0. Então, tem que ficar atento a isso, né? Às vezes acha uns links de umas correntes aí mais baratas. Ah, vou comprar mais barata. Chega, a pessoa não tem um aparelhinho de medir desgaste. Aí não sabe se a corrente tá boa ou não. Ah, ela é nova. Tá, ela é nova. Mas e o nível de desgaste? Tem que saber o nível de desgaste. Bom, 200 metros para acabar a rota. Vou fechar o treino aqui agora. Finalizando meu treino de hoje, galera. Finalizando. E aí, pedalar. Usar a corrente que já ultrapassou o 0.5, cara. Aí estraga a cassete. Quando for trocar de novo, pôr uma corrente nova, a corrente nova não vai dar certo, não vai casar com cassete, vai ficar pulando. Aí a pessoa fica sem entender por que tá pulando com corrente nova. Finalizar. Upload. Deixei bastante dicas lá no vídeo. Tem que absorver, né? Tem que entender um pouquinho de manutenção para evitar desgastes desnecessários. Tá aí. Excelente treino, maravilha, pessoal. Bom final de semana para todos, galera. Amanhã tem pedal do canal. Vou criar o evento aqui agora e vou enviar o convite para quem é amigo meu lá no Ruve. Então, seja bem-vindo. Tá todo mundo convidado pro pedal amanhã, pedal do canal, lá no Ruve, 8 horas da manhã. É uma rota de Ironman e é ritmo leve no sábado, porque no domingo é dia de eu descarregar potência aqui no Mywhoosh, cara. Vamos ver o evento? Sunday Race Club, mulher, Sunday Race Club, corrida, Race 1. Cadê o do homem? Porque tá no 1º de maio, vamos colocar aqui no domingo, que vai ser dia 3, ó, dia 3. Aí já abriu aqui, ó, Sunday Race Club Man, registrado, ó, já tô registrado aqui, ó, registrado daqui um dia. 6h45 da manhã eu dou a largada, ó. Man Qualifier Race 1, é a primeira corrida do mês de maio, né, então é a corrida 1. Eu acho que o mês de maio tem 5 domingos, vamos ver se tem 5 domingos. Calendário. Tem, ó, 5 domingos, tá mostrando aqui, ó. Primeiro domingo, corrida 1. Dia 10, corrida 2. Dia 17, corrida 3. Dia 24, corrida 4. E dia 31 é a final, que é a corrida 5. Aí não fala corrida 5, fala final. Então tem 5 domingos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 domingos em maio. Em maio são 5 domingos. Tá aí. Uau, gente, uau. Pessoal, gratidão. Hoje teve inscrito no canal. Gratidão quem se inscreveu aí no canal. Pessoal, gratidão quem deixou meu treino mais leve, conversou aí comigo. Bons treinos, pessoal. Bom final de semana. Então todos estão convidados amanhã, pedal do canal, lá no Ruve, 8 horas da manhã. Então é isso aí, pessoal. Valeu. Bom final de semana. Bom descanso. Fui. Uau! Obrigado por se inscrever aqui no meu canal do YouTube.